So, hey everybody, buenos dias, bonjour. um, so, I decided, well, we're having fun with personal pronouns, let's just do some more. So, I'm going to give you the basic personal pronouns in French and the basic personal pronouns in Spanish, and you can see the differences. Maybe you'll enjoy that. So, we're going to start with French. So now you learned from my Russian video, I hope, and if not, I'll put a link to that, by the way. But I hope that you learned that personal pronouns are pronouns that we use to speak about ourselves. So I, you, he, she, it, we, they. And in a lot of languages, including French, including Spanish, including Russian, including a lot of languages, and a lot, but not in English, there is a different word for you, singular or informal, and you, plural or formal. And so I'll explain more as we go along. But the you formal, you use that with people in authority, like your teacher, your doctor, your politician, your president, your anybody that's, kind of, I don't know, a little bit higher class than you. I hate to say that. I don't mean class exactly. But, somebody you might like to speak a little more formally to. And then also when you don't know somebody. So a lot of these languages, a lot of countries, if you don't know somebody, you want to use a more formal type of speech. And I will tell you something, in French, I know to use the more formal type of speech when I don't know somebody. I have spoken French with people here in the United States, quite often, in fact. And when I don't know them, I use the vous form, which is the more formal form, which you'll find out in a minute. And I have even had them say, thank you for doing that. How about that? So it's a thing. Believe me, it's a thing. All right, so French personal pronouns. We're going to learn that first. And French is my second language. It is after, I started Russian a really long time ago, but didn't get fluent in it. I started Russian, German, Italian, French, and Spanish before I ever got to the point where I could take classes in school. I started a long time ago, and Russian was the first. But I don't really count those as my second language because I really went pretty far with French, and I'm pretty fluent. So that is what I consider my second language. My third language is Spanish. My fourth language is getting to be a toss-up, probably between Russian and French. Russian and Norwegian, actually. I need to get on my Norwegian. I'm letting it slip a little bit, but I was very into Norwegian for a while. We can talk about that later, too. So, okay. So, anyway, your first personal pronoun in French, and I see this thing is going to give me some trouble. I don't like this camera. Oh, come on. There, it's going to... All right, is je or I. It's going to blur if I put my finger on it. Je means I. I can't think of something to say. Je t'aime. I love you. Je t'aime. Je mange le melon. I'm eating a melon. So, je. Tu. And that is you, and it is informal. It is also singular. So you're not going to say it to a group of people, and you are going to say it to somebody, like I said, if you don't know the person, don't use it. Use the vous form. But if you do know the person, if it's a buddy, if it's somebody, a family member, somebody you're familiar with, or your students, or somebody you're in authority over, or something like that, then you use tu. If it's your fiance, you'd use tu. So then we have il is he, elle is she, nous is we. Now we don't pronounce the S. This is very common in French. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but a lot of times if it doesn't have an E, now sometimes you'll see an E on the end, S-E, then you're going to pronounce the S. But otherwise, you just see the S like that, you're not going to pronounce it. So nous, we, vous, you, and you is just like I told you in Russian. It is you, it is more than one, and it's formal. So it's like somebody that would be a little bit above you, but it's also you all to a group. So remember that. But again, like I said, when I have met people in the United States and spoken French to them, I've used the vous form, and I have been thanked for doing that because it shows respect. They is elle, just like she was elle, and then elle is a group of women or a group of girls or a group of feminine, basically. So then il, and you see il is he, you just add an S, but you don't say it. Elle is going to be elle. Il is il, just like he, just like she, but you write it with an S, but you don't say it. And il is a group of men or masculine or mixed women and men. So anytime you get a group of mixed women and men in French, you're going to use the masculine form. So yes, it is a little, we would consider it maybe a little chauvinistic, but not really. I mean, it's just the language. It's just the way they do it. It's not really meant to put anybody down. It's just the way they do it. Okay. So then we have, I'm going to do the Spanish. Well, first let's go back over the French. Je t'aime, I love you. Je bois de l'eau, I drink water. Je bois un verre de l'eau, I drink a glass of water. Je mange le melon, I'm eating a melon. Okay, so, and tu, tu sembles fatigué, you seem tired, so tu. Il, he, elle, she, nous, we, vous, you, plural, more than one, you all, formal, and so it can be one person if you want to show respect. They, elle, so like she, only add an S. It means they, it means a group of ladies, women, feminine, elle. Now, if you have il, it's like this, only you add an S, and that is a group of men or a mixed group of men and women. And again, when you have a mixed group of men, women, genders, you refer to the masculine. All right, let's look at the Spanish. So these are the Spanish personal pronouns. I is yo. Yo. Yo te amo. I love you. Yo. Trying to think. I can't think in Spanish very well because I don't use it very often. But anyway, yo, I. Tu. And it's very similar to, as you'll see, this is the same word actually. Tu. Only in Spanish it has an accent. And the reason it has an accent, there is a reason. Because tu without an accent is your. So like your book. So to say you, you've got to put the accent and that distinguishes it. So you, informal, singular. Elle, he. Now again, there's an accent. Why is there an accent? Because elle is also the. El papel. Okay, the paper. So elle has to have an accent to be he, because that distinguishes it from the. Ella, so double L in Spanish is ya. Ella is she. Nosotros, nosotras. Now the reason there's two of these is because gender is very, very important in other languages and particularly in Spanish. So if you have nosotros, you've got a group of guys, and that's going to be nosotros. Say you have a group of gals, women, nosotras, okay? So they both mean we, but it changes according to your gender. Ellos, is they, masculine, group of guys. Ellas, they, feminine, group of women. And it's the same thing in French and Spanish. If you have a group of women and men, you're going to refer to the masculine. Any mixed group is going to refer to the masculine. So let's go back over again. Yo, I, tu, you, él, he, ella, she, nosotros, nosotras, we, ellos, ellas, they. So I hope that makes good sense, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I may do one with Italian, possibly even German maybe. I'll throw another couple at you.